You're watching Good Day Austin on Fox 7.
One-third of employees say they'll quit if forced to return to the office full-time, and just 50% would like a hybrid model of working. That's according to a survey from staffing company Robert Half. Leni Rivera, owner of Workplace Experience Consulting, joins us now with some advice on how to encourage employees back to the building. Good morning, Leni. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning, Amanda. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. And you're right, those are pretty disturbing statistics. And it is a little bit tricky. And the thing is, what people don't realize is coming out of the pandemic is like coming out of a war. We've all really experienced varying degrees of hardship and some devastation during the pandemic. So coming out of it, there's of course going to be levels of anxiety, especially when it comes to returning to the workplace. So it is a little tricky to try to figure out how to get employees to feel excited or look forward to coming back to the workplace.
Right, I can understand that, especially if somebody had, with so many deaths that we had here in the States and around the world, there are people who have very serious reasons and understandable concerns for getting back in. I read your article, Re-entering the Workplace, 5 things every workplace should have and the one thing every employee should ask for. Can you run down some of them for me, please?
Yes, actually, I can summarize that a little bit better. When people think about coming back to the workplace and getting excited to come back to the workplace, what I always advise clients anyway is to lean into the concerns that employees have that are existing, their concerns, their anxieties, and use that to find ways that their folks can use the workplace to do things that they can't do at home. Normally, let me give you some examples, because normally there are 2 different sentiments that employees have. One is where employees feel, I focus better when I'm in the office. There's less distraction, better Wi-Fi, there's AC. And for these kinds of situations, it's better for companies to make sure that there are designated quiet areas for people to do concentrated work areas, soundproof phone rooms for these kinds of people with these sentiment that work better in the office for this reason. Now, on the flip side, there are a lot of employees that are excited or thinking about coming back to work. And one of the sentiments is, I want to be back because I want to be able to interact with my colleagues in person and brainstorm, have these casual interactions, and that's a great thing. But a little bit of warning for offices that do have a lot of people with this sentiment. The first thing you're going to run out of in your office are conference rooms. So I would reserve your conference rooms for private meetings, training sessions, interviews, things for which you really need those 4 walls for a private conversation. And then find other areas in your workspace to generate this getting together and interaction of people and employees. I don't know about you, Amanda, but maybe this shows my age, but back in the day, the one place that really got people to come together and collaborate and interact was the water cooler. And while the water cooler has evolved, the behavior has not. And that's important for companies to realize, because you can use these spaces, any place where you serve coffee or snacks or food or beverages of any sort. Throw tables and chairs together in those areas, and you're going to find that people will naturally gravitate to those spaces to interact. And if you throw in a whiteboard with markers or extension cords for laptops, you'll find that people will naturally use these spaces to interact, to collaborate, to exchange ideas. And it's also a visual cue for everybody else in the office, because it generates an energy and a vibe, which hopefully gets people to look forward to and get excited about being back in the office.
Yeah, those are all great ideas, some that I wouldn't have even thought of, but that's why we're talking to the expert. Leni, I know there's a lot of viewers out there who probably want a little more information. Where can they find some of it? Do you have a website?
I do have a website. Thanks for asking. It's www.workplaceexperience.net. And this is a very difficult time for both employees and companies as we come out of the pandemic and back into the workplace. So it's a great time. It's a great time to ask for advice, I think, and to help. It's a great time for me to help people get back into the workplace and feel excited about it.
Yeah, especially as we start the process slowly but surely. Leni Rivera, owner of Workplace Experience, that's Experience with an X Consulting. Thank you so much for being with us, Leni.
Thanks too, Amanda. Have a great day.
You too. Take care.